Good morning. Happy Friday. This is the Raw blog, and I have so much I want to share because there is so much going on. So many things I want to talk about. My own personal experiences, which this journal, this vlog is about, but also my client experiences. And perhaps I'll do Worthiness Wednesday episodes on them. But my clients this week had so many fantastic experiences, and I guess I'll do a quick overview of them in this video, and then go into more detail in the Worthiness Wednesday videos. By the way, I am doing this, reinvigorating this channel, not to become a YouTube celebrity, but because of the timing of what's happening and the convergence that is available to each and every one of us as we move into the AI age. And I'm feeling inspired to create this content and share it for those who are ready to hear it. And that's the only reason why I'm doing it, because it's inspiring, and because it's inspiring, it's fun. It also gives me a wonderful outlet to express the tremendous amount of joy I feel being positively focused, and then seeing how my life reflects that back to me in these wonderful ways. I'm going to pause this recording, because I think I didn't set my laptop from going to sleep, and I want to make sure it doesn't do that. So just 1 second here. Okay, we're all good. So yeah, this is not about me becoming a YouTube celebrity. It's just about having fun, being inspired, and sharing from that inspired place. Which leads me to my meditations this morning and the multidimensional consciousness shifts, the alternate dimensions I visited during my meditation. There were so many and so inspiring. And what I notice is, so this journal, this vlog, is supposed to be raw, unedited, which is why it's called the Raw blog. But I am going to include from time to time little photo insets, either here or here, in order to support what I'm sharing. And this is one of those cases. I believe in order to have a multi-dimensional consciousness shift or an alternate dimensional travel, it's necessary to get to a point at which in meditation we have stilled ourselves. We've come into a state of stillness, and that state of stillness tends to be represented in my meditations by a BPM, a heart rate beats per minute, of under 50, so under 50 beats per minute. And today, I believe, if I look, in fact, let me just look real quick. I think, I can't because my devices are all being used up. I think I got down to 46 beats a minute, and that's why I had so many consciousness shifts. And I'm gonna put an inset to show you what that looks like. I totally flatlined at 46 beats a minute. And when I'm in that state of stillness, I cannot express in words how delicious that feels. There's one other client of mine who is having multidimensional consciousness shifts while he's in a state of stillness, but not in meditation. He lives on a lake, and that's going to be a really good segue. He lives on a lake, and he finds that state of stillness sitting on the pier on his property that extends out into this lake. And he has some really fantastic dimensional consciousness shifts. These departures, these alternate dimension visits, happen as a result of soothing resistance, getting to a state of such chronic positive focus that the consciousness that is you embodies the spontaneous nature of pure positive energy, which allows you then to travel into an alternate dimension associated with something that's going on within you about your current experience in physical reality. I talk about this all the time with my clients who are in this state, like my client KJ. There aren't a lot of clients who are having these multiple dimension consciousness shifts like me and KJ, and that's probably because they are still really focused on their physical reality goals and objectives. Which brings me, like I said a minute ago, it's a nice segue. It brings me to how much I enjoy clients who are wealthy. About a third of my clients are wealthy now. And what I really appreciate them, they're multi-millionaires. And what I appreciate about them is because they're multimillionaires, they have the resources, both time and money, to put into their expansion. They don't consider $75 a session to be significant at all. In fact, most of them think it's insignificant. In fact, one of them pays me $150 a week in order to see me 2 times a week. And so I like working with multimillionaires because for 2 reasons. One, because they have the flexibility of resources to be able to engage fully in the positively focused practice. But also, and I think more importantly, they are willing to dedicate themselves to the advanced levels of the practice. What's really interesting about them, and a really strong confirmation of what we hear all the time but don't pay much attention to, is how money doesn't make you happy. So all of these folks, these multimillionaires I'm working with, are coming to me for a particular reason, because they want to be happy. And while they have tremendous financial resources enabling them to do pretty much whatever they want, for example, one of my clients is just getting back from visiting Norway, Sweden, and Germany. And he went to Germany. He went to Norway because it's a beautiful, beautiful country. And then tripped through Sweden because it's another beautiful country. And then went to Germany because he wanted to take a track day at the Nürburgring. And then when he was there, he was talking about how free he feels in the wealth that he enjoys. He's quite young, in his late 20s. And he was talking about that freedom, but while he has that financial freedom, and this is true with all my multimillionaire clients, while he has and enjoys his financial freedom, which allows him to pretty much live independently, free from any constraints from anybody, he still constrains himself through the negative beliefs he has in his belief constellations on a wide range of subjects. And this is true with every single client. Every single client, not just the multimillionaires, but the millionaires specifically, which is why we hear in society that money doesn't make you happy. Nothing will make you as chronically happy as a positive focus, because when you're positively focused, you're aligned with the authentic being that is you, the authentic being that knows that you're eternal and knows that the universe loves you. And as a result of that, you can see a life that I call the charmed life. So yeah, I really enjoy working with multimillionaires for that reason. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to share today. I have some client stories I want to talk about in the Worthiness Wednesday series. Siri thought I was saying Siri, and I actually said series, and so Siri popped up. That's really strange.
I didn't get that.
Yeah,
Can you try again?
Never mind. So yeah, in the Worthiness Wednesday series, I will bring up these client experiences because they're really fantastic, and I'm also going to write blogs about.
I found some web results. I can show them if you ask again from your iPhone.
Never mind. And I'm also going to write blogs in detail about them. If you haven't looked at the Positively Focused blog at Positively Focused CO, you can get into deep dives about these client stories. And, you know, it's interesting. I have a client, a non-client who reads those blogs regularly. And that person recently wrote to me on Facebook Messenger. They live in Vietnam. wrote me this really long and detailed characterization of their life and how their life was positively impacted from reading what they call the wisdom of my blogs. And so I was really I was really inspired, pleased, and joyful to hear that the blog content really helped this person expand their consciousness, even though they're not a client. So it was a confirmation, because I put a lot of time and effort into those blog stories, and I'm glad that the blog stories are creating the kind of outcomes like what this person was experiencing. I have another blog, by the way, called the Transamorous Network, where I have content I've written as a transamorous man to support other transamorous men as they move through their transamory journey. And I also created a segment of that content for women who find themselves married to cisgender women who find themselves married to trans-attracted men. And last week, a woman reached out to me who lives in Washington, really distraught about her relationship with her man, who turns out to be trans-attracted. He was seeing many trans women before meeting her, and her transgender friends knew this guy and shared some screenshots of him interacting with them. And so she's worried, rightfully, that the relationship is not going to go anywhere. And so she was distraught and reached out to me. And after our conversation, after I oriented her toward what is really going on in her relationship, she felt tremendous relief. So much I could talk about that too, but I'd like to keep these under 15 minutes, and we're already at 12 minutes. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. So much happening. I'm really excited. I think I'm going to add a clip to the end of this journal of Jake Sully from Avatar again, because it really characterizes what's going on in my life right now, doing these journal entries. It's like there's so much I want to be doing, and I love doing these blogs, and there's so much I want to be doing. So here that is.
Do I have to do this now? Like, I really need to get some rag.
No, now.
And then I will see you in I'll see you in the next blog entry or the next episode of my YouTube channel. Take care and see you in the comments.